More and more people around the world are finding out through genealogy and hidden customs that they're descendants of Jews from the Inquisition and even before, known as Conversos for hundreds of years. Cuban-born Genie Milgrom discovered and proved her maternal Jewish lineage dating back to the 14th century and now shares her story in a new documentary called Between the Stone and the Flower. And for the first time ever, it debuted in Israel at the Anu Museum. I was there. Take a look.
I've been having an existential crisis my whole life with my religion. My desire to go back to basics. When you get to the fundamental of the Catholic religion, where are you? You're in Judaism.
Imagine growing up Catholic in Cuba and Miami, but knowing something was just off.
I was in Catholic school from nursery school through the university. Nuns, schools, women only, uniforms, the whole 9 yards. But I felt odd.
Ever since, Genie Milgrom has been on a journey of self-discovery to uncover what she knew in her soul the whole time.
We just know, and it's impossible to say, why do we know? How do we know? I don't know how we know, we just know. You know, it's like when you just know something, kind of like a déjà vu thing.
They say the proof is in the pudding. For decades, Genie has been discovering breadcrumbs left by 22 generations of grandmothers who hid their secret Judaism in the most interesting ways.
She was from 1391, and she was one of the ones that was forcibly converted. And most of my family converted in 1391. And then they hid underground as practicing Jews until about 1690. And they kept different ways of cooking that were taught to me as family recipes and family customs and customs of burying our dead immediately within 18 hours, things like this.
And in the new documentary, Between the Stone and the Flower, Genie takes us to Spain and Portugal, where she goes through over 600 years of Inquisition documents.
They had fled from Spain into Portugal, and in Portugal they had been caught again and again. And at first sight, I was able to identify 45 women on my maternal tree that had been burned.
Genie, who is now a full-on Orthodox Jew and married to her soulmate Michael, screened her film in front of a full house at Tel Aviv's Anu Museum of the Jewish People.
When I go to Fermoselle, I always have a feeling of a town that has stood still in time. And it is really a feeling of belonging and being home in a place that is strange to me, at least in this lifetime.
And even though locals of Fermoselle originally said there was no Jewish history, Genie found the smoking gun.
I found a mikvah, I found a synagogue. I found in one of the archives a document that documented how much tax had been paid on all the Jews that lived in Fermoselle.
Genie, a pioneer in the field, is now paying it forward to communities mainly in Latin America.
I was looking at the crypto-Jewish phenomenon of the descendants, working with an organization called Kulanu, which means all of us. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people waking up to the possibility of having Jewish roots.
The documentary has also made waves in film festivals around the world, proving that her efforts have not been in vain.
I thought October 8th, and obviously after the shock, I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now for the next several months? Because this is going to stop people. Stop people. It tripled. It tripled. What was coming into my email tripled. I was not expecting this.
At the
Anu Museum in Tel Aviv, Emily Francis, I-24 News. A beautiful story.